A promotion that signals change in the Milwaukee Fire Department. For the first time in its history, MFD has an African-American female deputy chief. In our Sunday morning spotlight, Amanda Porterfield sits down with Deputy Chief Sharon Purifoy for a look at her new role and mission to inspire current and future generations of female firefighters.
Inside the Milwaukee Fire Department headquarters, there's a wall dedicated to former chiefs, and it paints a very clear picture of the department's history.
You know, when I look at the wall, I just see a history that didn't really include us. But I also see, the fact that there is a lot of room for change.
Deputy Chief Sharon Purifoy's picture could fill that space one day, now that she's just a couple steps away from the department's top spot.
Pretty amazing. And that's not saying that there weren't some before, that could have, but at this time, it was just my time. It feels really good to get here because I never saw myself here.
As a little girl who grew up with her brothers and sisters in the city's Sherman Park neighborhood, she had different dreams.
I was going to be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
Doesn't everybody want to be Dallas?
That was my goal, and then it became a psychologist, and then I wanted to become this wonderful social worker that was just going to change the world. Biggest passion is family.
It was that love of helping people and passion for family that pushed her to take the firefighter's test.
When I got on the job and I saw that it was so much more than running in and out of burning buildings. You see people on their worst day.
Little did she know that family had some issues, and because of the color of her skin, she wouldn't actually become a member of the department for another 8 years.
Without the Milwaukee Brotherhood of Firefighters, there would be no Deputy Chief Purifoy and many others who hold roles in this department.
That's because 6 years after that test, an Equal Employment Opportunity Commission complaint filed by the Milwaukee Brotherhood of Firefighters determined that those who took the test that year and in other years weren't treated fairly due to their race. Purifoy was able to test again and become a firefighter who now has 24 years on the department.
It's very important to have somebody working on your behalf because a lot of times you don't know what you don't know. We would have just been lost in the wind. Nobody came looking for us but the Brotherhood did.
Do you think things have changed since then?
I do believe things have changed. We've come, a really long way. I think when I first came on, we weren't looked on as favorable at that time. And I remember when I went to my second firehouse, I was told by my officer, he was like, you know what, Sharon, this was before he got to know me, he said, when I saw that you were coming to this house, I thought I was being punished. And I thought, well, why would you think that? You really didn't know me. He said, because you were black and you were a female. And I thought, wow, the two things I couldn't change, nor would I change. And he was like, but you know what, you're all right. And I'm like, wow, I'm glad you were able to see that. So again, if we just give people a chance, you may have a deputy chief of EMS hiding amongst you.
Right now, there are 859 positions at the department. 122 of them are black and 83 are women. It's an improvement that Deputy Chief Purifoy credits to the cadet program.
If we keep going the way that we're going, we'll be fine. We have an administration now who sees and knows the need for diversity, and we're going in the right direction.
Chief Aaron Lipsky says promoting Purifoy to Deputy Chief when he had the chance was an easy decision to make because she's more than qualified to lead EMS.
I knew before I even asked her, yep, this is who needs to be in this role. Sharon brings to the table a sensibility that, quite frankly, is refreshing and in surprising ways, right? It's very critical that we don't do that thing, I believe, that can end up so counterproductive where we take people that check certain boxes and just jam them somewhere, and then with no support, no training, no development up to that point, we sit and we watch the person fail. I've watched it over and over again, and it's just that's not the point.
So what would you prefer?
And not only does Deputy Chief Purifoy have a history-making seat at the table, she's sitting there next to her spouse, Deputy Chief Dwayne Smoots.
We're glad that we're here because now we're more involved in some of the decision making and, you know, able to put our touch on things.
They both worked hard to get there as a family, raising her late sister's daughter as their own.
He always lets me know, though, that he does outrank me. So, but it feels really good.
Deputy Chief Smoots was promoted just 1 month before she was in 2020 and encouraged his wife every step of the way.
He always tells me that you didn't pick it for yourself. You know, God did. So maybe this wasn't for you, but it's for other people to see you.
To see her as a positive example in the community whose mere presence is tearing down age-old walls within a department committed to building a better future.
I'm happy to see where our department has gone, looking so forward to seeing where we'll be in 10 years. I have thoughts that this wall is going to look a little different in about 20 years.